Hi everybody, and welcome to the release of Breath of Fire 3's 3D world maps. So I'm excited to release these because it's been a long time in the making. You see, in 2013 I decided I needed a high resolution image of Breath of Fire 3's overworld, and at the time this image was the one that I could find most often online, which has text over top of it, or maybe this one, which was smaller in resolution but without the text, and those aren't very large. Actually, we have nice full resolution images of this now, thanks to the Video Game History Foundation, but 13 years ago now, that was not the case. Maybe you could find the back of the Breath of Fire 3 case in Japanese that had an image of a bit higher resolution of that map, but also covered in text, or if you were lucky enough to have a copy of the Prima Guide, you had a faded, larger version of that overworld, but also covered in text. The Prima Guide also came with this version of Breath of Fire 3's overworld, but lacking a lot of detail that you see in game. And even in the lead up to Breath of Fire 6's release, Capcom re-released a whole bunch of Breath of Fire 3 art on its Breath of Fire portal site, including this map for Breath of Fire 3, which is not very large at resolution and again is missing a lot of detail. And what I was looking for at the time was detail like we could find in the Super Nintendo maps for Breath of Fire 1 and 2 by Tropicon and Paco, which are like pixel accurate. And I had set out to make these myself for Breath of Fire 3 by taking screenshots. And I quickly ran into an issue where the world that we see through the game camera is not isometric, or rather, the world is not an orthographic camera, so things don't line up when you try to take screenshots. And what I tried to do to start was figure out how to render the textures that we see in game in a isometric format, and that quickly became too much work. And what I elected to do at the time instead was take top-down screenshots of every overworld area, and by taking lots and lots of screenshots, I was able to stitch together the Breath of Fire 3's overworld from a top-down view, rip the textures, and then I released in 2015 overworld maps for every area in Breath of Fire 3 from a top-down. So losing the geometry, but pixel accurate. And that's where this project's at for 10 years now, because the 3D modeling was sort of beyond my skills, and I messed around with that for a little bit over the years. But it wasn't until 2023 when I discovered the Avacado PlayStation Emulator, which is no longer in active development, but it had a very nice 3D screenshot feature, which has since been ported to DuckStation, but for this project I was using Avacado and a lot of help from Blender to stitch everything together and remodel any geometry that was missing. And so now we have 3D renders for every overworld section of Breath of Fire 3. And I think they turned out really great. And so these are now available on vgmaps.com, and you're welcome to go check them out and let me know if I missed something or if there's something else in the game you'd want to see. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later.